This is an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder.
Ziah Miller is an interesting guy. He is currently writing a book called 101 Bullets in 101 AD, an interesting title to say the least, and we'll get to that in a moment. He's already a best-selling author, and in addition to that, he's a software engineer and an indie game developer. Ziah joins us via Zoom from Vietnam. Hi, Ziah.
Hello, Peter. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on the program with us. I want to get to that book that you're writing right now. Tell us about the story of that book and how it came to be, at least in the writing process that you're in right now.
So there's that joke, that meme that goes around is, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? A lot of guys have certain, things about going back into the past. How would they live? How would they survive? What piece of technology could they bring back with them? So I always thought, like, if I went back in time, what piece of technology would I have? Any electronics, it'd fall apart. It would definitely have to be something that was knowledge-based, like a book with kind of equipment to be able to build, or a weapon. So I have an elite sniper that gets sent back in time, and basically it plays out from there, from a guy who wants to change history during the Roman conquest of England. And basically has 101 bullets, and he basically can solve a lot of problems, but every bullet he uses, he becomes closer to being just a normal man. And I actually wrote this because my current fantasy books are right now being kind of tied up with publishers and release dates. We release them next year, and I do a 42-day book tour. But until that time, I decided to write some quick little historical fiction books based on an elite sniper going back in time.
Oh, you sound like an overachiever.
No, I have a lot of hobbies, and I get bored really, really easy. That is literally all it is. When someone says, hey, we're going to wait and just let you sit there, I'm like, ooh, I better do something. It's not that I'm a cheat. It's just I get bored. And I really enjoy writing, and I really enjoy making video games. So.
Well, which came first for you as far as passion is concerned? Video games or authoring, or writing, rather?
Actually, funny story is that I was actually a concept artist for video games. I was a very talented artist. I could draw and do a lot of graphic design, character work. And my company I was working for, they were hiring a junior developer, a junior software engineer, and it paid 3 times as my mid-level position at that company. And I was like, well, I want that money. I don't want to be a starving artist anymore. So I became a software engineer and started doing video games because I actually just wanted to actually eat well. And over time, I loved what I did, and I became very successful at it. During the pandemic, everybody was locked inside. So I was like, I'll just write a book. Everybody wrote a book during the pandemic. So I had to compete against everyone. So what I did is like, you know what? I'm going to do it right. I went through 11 drafts. I went through 25 beta readers. I went through 3 editors, and I made sure the book was as good as possible because I just want to do it the best I could. I don't really ever do anything half-assed. I put my whole ass in it and, try to do the best I can. So I did it that way, and I got critically acclaimed and became a bestseller. And the Kirkus magazine featured as one of the best books of 2021, which is a very big magazine in the book industry. And they basically said it's one of the best debut novels they read. And so because of that, it kicked off my artist career from starving back to being a relevant career for me.
And tell us about that book in particular.
So Maggie Turncoat was a book I never wanted to write, but it was a book that was successful because I needed to learn how to write. Since I was a software engineer, I knew that the best thing to do is learn how to code. When I was an artist, I had to figure out different styles to be an artist. I knew as an author, since I was I never knew how to basically write a novel, I needed to learn. So that's when I started in writing it, and I started going through beta readers and editors for them to tell me what was wrong with it. But I wanted to go through the process correctly so that I could then write my next book and actually make it the book I've always wanted to write, the book I've always wanted to write, it comes out next year. It's about 2 souls in one body. It's a very cool little fantasy book, but I wanted to do it right. So I made up this little side character named Maggie Turncoat, and I didn't expect it to do so well. It actually got me the finances to be able to kind of do my own thing and launch my own little company.
Now, you say this is the book that you didn't want to write. Why didn't you want to write this?
Oh, no, it's not. I didn't want to. I should reword that correctly. It's not the book I wanted to write. It's the book that I wanted to learn how to write, Ewing. So I shouldn't say didn't want to write. The book I wanted to write, I wrote right after that, after I learned how to write appropriately. Like I said, it was called Twin Souls, and it will be coming out next year. It took a little while for it to get out because I went through 2 agents. We're right now locking down the publisher. And since things are tied up, that's why I'm writing some other books in the meantime to release while I'm waiting around.
Because you're naturally an artist, when you write, do you see things visually? And are you illustrating your own works?
Yes. So that's actually the good thing about being an artist is I can actually nail what the characters look like. So I do see things visually. I do actually plan stuff out. I drew my own maps. I drew my own. The only thing I'm not really good at is landscapes and architecture. I can do characters. I can do equipment. I can do all that stuff very, very well. So I do still do a little bit of landscape and architecture work, just kind of the sketches, but I do have friends who polish it up for me. So I'm able to give them a good draft of what I'm looking for. But yeah, I do most of my own original art, and then I have other artists to build off of that.
Now, it seems like you're somebody who overcomes any kind of obstacles that are in your way. And one of the obstacles you faced is just physicality. You dropped a lot of weight and put on some muscle.
Yes.
How and why did that happen?
So I weighed, I was twice the man I used to be. I weighed 100 pounds more, and I realized my father was not healthy, and I was kind of chunky, and he was chunky, and he passed away because of health related issues. And I didn't want to follow in his footsteps. I did like him. I did get along with him, but it's just the health issues that I was like, I need to take care of myself and make some steps. So within a year and a half, I lost 100 pounds. And then in the next year and a half, I gained 25 pounds of muscle. And the motivation I found to do that, of course, was my dad. But funny enough, working out really boring. Dieting really sucks. So I actually played video games and lost weight. I got a pedal bike, a recumbent pedal bike, and I sat it in my house. And every time I played World of Warcraft or I played Genshin Impact or I played any video game, I'd pedal while I did it. And I lost 50 pounds without dieting. After the first 50 pounds that fell off, I actually had to start dieting a little bit to get the next 50 pounds off.
Wow.
Yeah.
You played video games and you lost weight.
Yeah.
There
so
are
every time I play,
there are people out there right now saying, "How do I do this?"
so you just get a recumbent bike. You put the recumbent bike next to your table, and you get 2 dinner tables to the side to rest your arms on. All you're looking to do is to pedal and mindlessly play. And so you want to forget that you're pedaling. So it's best to play a game like World of Warcraft or some game that is kind of easy to click on, but you're still kind of moving around and that you don't have to focus too much on. And you can just pedal and go. And I did probably about 20 hours of cardio a week. And I think that was around I just remember my biggest week is I burned 6,000 calories one week.
Wow.
So yeah, the weight just fell off. And like I said, once I got to the point though that the weight wasn't falling anymore off because I was eating ice cream and drinking soda. So I had to actually start dieting just a little bit, but I still kind of ate what I want. And now currently I don't have that pedal bike set up. So I do have to watch what I eat so I don't, blow up. But once I get that pedal bike installed again, I'll be able to eat whatever I want and just pedal and play video games.
Now we're talking to you in Vietnam. How did you get to Vietnam?
So I decided to do my own company probably last March. I realized I had the finances to do it. I realized I had the IP to do it. And I realized I didn't have the finances to do it if I stayed in California. So my rent in California, half of just my rent, I live off of in Vietnam. Food, rent, transportation, medical, everything. So I then could use the rest of the money to hire employees. So I have 5 people working for me right now as we're making an indie video game based off of my IP. So I went to Vietnam just because it's a great country to live in for safety. I feel very safe here. I live in Da Nang where I have all the comforts I need, all the food I want to eat, all the friends I want to make. And it's just been a wonderful experience here. But I've been to India, I've been to Brazil, I've been to Colombia. But I found that Vietnam and Da Nang has been the most peaceful and most relaxing quality place to be. And it allows me to use my finances on hiring people to help make my game.
You are doing so many things that are creative. What did little Ziah Miller want to be when he grew up? And are you that?
The thing I wanted to be when I grew up was to make video games. And I got lucky that I'm able to do that. I was going to be a concept artist and hopefully move into being a creative director. And it's really weird to say that I achieved my childhood dream. Now, my dream has kind of adjusted. I think it's still on the line. I want to own my own company making video games and books. And so I currently do that, but I want to get to the point where it's a little bit bigger and my IP is a little bit more well known. But even if I don't get to like a household name or I don't get to the point where I have like more than like 20 employees, I'll be fine. I'm so close to just achieving that dream. If I get like 10 employees full time and everything's going well, yeah, and I'm able to support them, I've reached the pinnacle of what I could imagine doing. So I'm very fortunate that I was able to at least get within that range.
Well, we're just about out of time, but I got to ask a couple of things about some of the work that you're doing. I mentioned the book that you're currently writing, 101 Bullets in 101 AD, and you have other books out, and you have other books coming out. So what has been released? What's the next release? And when is 101 Bullets coming out?
So Maggie Turncoat was released a couple years ago. The new version's coming out 3 months, the audiobook and an audiovisual book for web. The Twin Souls book, which is about two souls in one body as they struggle as the villain and the hero stuck in the same body. That one comes out next year, and I'm doing a 40-day book tour. 101 Bullets and 101 AD will be coming out in 6 months. It'll be coming out before my Twin Souls book because it's not wrapped up with a different publisher or anything like that. And I'm probably going to self-publish that just to get it out. And then my video game comes out probably the end of this year as well.
And that video game is?
It's a deck building roguelike game where you basically play a card game to get your card out of the hand of fate.
Wow.
So,
like I said at the beginning, you're a very interesting guy.
I get bored easy, and so I got a lot of hobbies.
Well, Ziah, I thank you very much for taking the time to be on the program with us. Pleasure to have a chance to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Peter. It's been great to chat with you. I enjoyed it a lot.
Ziah Miller, author of the upcoming novel 101 Bullets in 101 AD, which will be coming out in about 6 months. As he mentioned, his previous book, a bestseller, is called Maggie Turncoat and the Empire of Chains. You can go to our website at thestuffile.com to the page for this show, which is show number 0818, and you'll find the link to Ziah's site, plus links to either Amazon.com or Amazon.ca, where you can order his most recent book directly.
You've just heard an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder. To hear any or all of the full hour-long shows, visit thestufffile.com. Stuph is spelled S-T-U-P-H. That's thestufffile.com. A presentation of Flying Fish Communications.